Oh, fuck. I'm too close. Well, hi. I'm back after like 2 months of 2 months since I last put out a vlog. And honestly, I've just been busy. I've just been getting on with my life, trying to enjoy life, outside of YouTube. And I told myself this year would be the year I came back, and I did make an effort. Kind of just went downhill after a couple videos, but screw it. Everyone has a downfall. I haven't really had any ideas for videos. I do have one that I'm currently like in the process of. I guess I'm writing it, but that's a story for another day. More like that's a video for another day, because you'll find out soon enough if you follow me on any of my social media platforms. But I wanted to talk about something that I see a lot that kind of, I guess it's a trend. Like I see Looper do it, I see Watch Mojo do it, but they do it kind of differently. So I'm thinking I'm going to talk about my favorite Paramore albums from least favorite to most favorite. Now, I've been a Paramore fan since like shortly before Brand New Eyes came out, because honestly, I heard Misery Business the very first time I played, what was it, Saints Row 2, and I was like, ooh, I'm not usually into pop punk, but I fucking love this. Honestly, you don't want to know what I was into at the time. It was garbage. But Paramore was like that band that helped me branch out. Same thing with Panic at the Disco, because that's when I first heard him too, was on Saints Row 2, a couple months after it came out. So, like I just mentioned, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about all of my favorite Paramore albums, from least to most favorite, starting with the first one. Number one, All We Know is Falling. Honestly, I didn't really hear this album until a couple years ago, because I was like, okay, it's Riot, and then everything else. But then again, when I hear it now, I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care for this album. I mean, yeah, it's what got them started, but honestly, I just didn't really care for their first album. It's not bad, but as far as like their entire catalog goes, it's definitely my least favorite. It's got some decent songs. It's nice for a first release. I do like Whoa. I do like All We Know. Those some good tracks, but everything else, it's not very memorable. I hate admitting it because I fucking love Paramore. I've seen them twice in the last year, and I'm not afraid to admit that. That's really all I can say about their first album, because it's just out there. Don't get me wrong, it was a good start, and I love that they progressed. Like they constantly progressed after that, which was fucking great. It's just not something that I remember from time to time like the rest of their catalog. So yeah, my least favorite is All We Know is Falling. You can judge me if you want. Next up, we have Brand New Eyes. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. This was the album that I kind of missed out on. Because after Riot, I don't know, like I have this tendency with bands that I think I'm gonna keep up with, that I just lose track after them. Like even my all-time favorite band, Linkin Park, I even lost track of them like after a while. And then I came back, I started listening to them, and I was like, God damn, I'm back in my new metal phase. But that's a different story. Yeah, I missed out on Brand New Eyes, and then when I listened to it, and then I heard The Only Exception, I was like, oh my god, this is like literally every stuck up person in high school's favorite song. And I'm not bullshitting you when I say that, because everybody that was a total dick to me in high school would fucking play this song, and I'm like, can y'all fucking not? And I don't know, ugh, it got so annoying after a while. But then it started growing on me a couple times after I listened to it, and then I got tired of it again, and then it grew on me again. Oh my god, ugh, that song. I have a love hate relationship with that song. It's really fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, but eh. Ugh. Anyways, as far as the rest of Brand New Eyes goes, I really fucking love Ignorance, and I love All I Wanted. Oh my god, that is like my fucking anthem from that album. Misguided Ghost is really good. That's about all I can. That's about all I can say about this album. It's got some good tracks, but definitely not ranking as as much as what I'm about to introduce next. But yeah, Brand New Eyes was really good. At least I think it was good. So yeah, that is my second least favorite. Next up, we have their self-titled album. Now, don't get me wrong, dude. Why would I place this above Brand New Eyes? I don't know, because I fucking love this album. I mean, some people would say otherwise. I don't give a fuck, honestly. I love their self-titled, even though it was the last album they had with Jeremy Davis. Don't remind me, please. But anyway, like the first time I heard their self-titled, I was like, this is fucking great. Like, oh, these are tracks that I'm gonna fucking remember for the rest of my life. And so far, it's been what, 3 years, 4 years since the album came out? Or was it 5? It's been 5 years almost since the album came out. Or has it been? I don't know, dude. I didn't keep up with release dates until fucking their latest album, if you want me to be completely honest. But yeah, dude. Ugh, there's so many favorite songs of mine by Paramore on that album. I could go on, but oof, that'll take forever. But pretty much like 99.9% of that album is all like a lot of my favorite Paramore tracks. I mean, everybody loves Still Into You, Ain't It Fun, Maybe Now. I love Now. I love Hate to See Your Heart Break. Ah, like honestly, that album is just one of my favorites by them. I can't fucking lie. It did kind of bum me out that it was the last album they made with Jeremy Davis because I thought he was like a really good fit for the band since he first joined, which was like around which was pretty much their formation. All that shit he tried to do afterwards, I was like, you can go away now. We don't fucking need you. If you guys don't remember, he tried to sue Paramore in 2016, like a couple months after he left, because he left in December of 2015, and then he tried to sue them for the sake of like getting shares for some of the songs that he claimed he wrote. Which I mean, if he did, that's cool. But like, you gotta understand, when it comes to Paramore, the only person that gets paid as an actual member is Haley. Even she's not gonna fucking bullshit you about that. But I mean, she still has she still has members that still want to do this with her. And hey, that's great because I mean, she didn't want to be a pop star when she first came out. But you know the whole story if you're as big of a fan as I am, if not bigger. After he tried to sue him, no, after he tried to sue Paramore, I was like, this guy can fuck off. This guy can just fuck off. Like, why? Like, we get it. You were in the band. You may have contributed to some creative efforts during your time. I mean, dude, you made your fucking money while you were in the band. Why would you try to get more out of it by suing him? I may be getting the story twisted, but I don't care. Because after that, I was like, I don't acknowledge Jeremy Davis anymore. And if you guys want to be for or against me on that, that is up to you. But honestly, fuck that guy. That was a roller coaster. So yeah, self-titled, the last album they made with Jeremy Davis, definitely my favorite. Definitely one of my favorites. And my second to most favorite would be After Laughter, their latest release. This was probably the only time I actually kept up with a release date because I was actually reinvigorating my obsession with Paramore. And honestly, this album did it all for me. New direction, new sound, new lyricism, which honestly probably shocked me beyond belief. I mean, it's not like they've always written the same stuff for the last few albums. I mean, it's kind of close to it, but it's not necessarily. And like when I first heard Hard Times, I was like, this kind of makes me happy. But then when I read the lyrics, I'm like, oh, this is a train to my fucking heart. I heard the rest of After Laughter, and I was like, this is not a fun album. It sounds fun, but the more you hear the lyrics, the more you read them, it's not. It's a fucking roller coaster of emotions. This was when I was recovering from my depression episode that lasted a year and a half that I tried to get out of. I mean, I did get out of it, but it took forever. Yeah, this was during my depression episode that lasted a year and a half, and honestly, like listening to that album, I was like, I relate so much to this. I may have not had a shitty marriage, but I've had some shitty relationships, whether it was love or friends. It was terrible. But the upside of this album was that Zach Farrell came back, and honestly, that made me so fucking happy. I fucking love that guy, even though he's so weird. Especially if you look at his Instagram stories. But I was so happy when he came back. And then I remember reading an article about After Laughter, and she and Haley pretty much said that I pretty much got my best friend back, and that made me so fucking happy. Honey, me too. I fucking love Zach. Oh my gosh, I was so happy when he came back. But regarding the album, like it was such a roller coaster. Like some of the songs, they sounded so cheery, and then you listen to, but then you hear the lyrics, and you're like, I want to cry, and I also want to dance. Like this is confusing. What do I do? But then they stopped and they showed their true colors for the album when I heard 26. Like that song, oh shit, I'm about to cry just thinking about that song. Like I want to cry every time I hear that song because it's so fucking relatable. That song hits me like a fucking train every time I listen to it. And when I saw them live for the first time back in October, dude, my girlfriend and I were fucking crying. Oh my god. And that was the only time she probably ever cried with me at a concert because she doesn't like Paramore. But yeah, and then I saw them again earlier this month. I fucking cried again. But can you blame me? I fucking love that song, but it's so sad and so relatable. I don't know. I feel like I'm intoxicating myself with sadness, but it's so good. And then also they did the same thing with the song "Tell Me How," which is not as much of a fucking emotional train wreck as 26, but it's still really good. Like it sounds like a really cheery album, but the lyrics are just a lot deeper than you think. And then you hear 26 and Tell Me How, and it's just, oh, I fucking love this album. No matter how sad it is, it's a fucking masterpiece. Even though it kind of made me sad sometimes because I related so much to it, at the same time, it was also kind of a coping mechanism to help me recover from depression. I don't know. Like, when it comes to coping mechanisms, like when I'm depressed, it was always the gym and music. That's about all I can say when it comes to that. But, dude, After Laughter was a monument for me. And getting to see them for their first US tour for supporting that album made I was probably so fucking happy. And it made me really happy, especially because earlier that year I was supposed to see Linkin Park, but Chester Bennington committed suicide, and I fucking cried my eyes out. And I thought, well, if I can at least see Paramore this year, that can make up for that. And I did. And that was the happiest fucking day of my life. Am I gonna see Paramore again countless fucking times? You bet your fucking ass I will. I fucking love that band. I've had a crush on Haley Williams since I was in middle school, and I still do. I'm not afraid to admit that. After Laughter is definitely my second most favorite Paramore album up to date. And number one, if you're surprised by this, I don't know what the fuck you're doing watching this video. But Riot. Riot is my shit. Oh my god. Riot was the album that got me into them. Riot was the album that got everyone into Paramore. Yeah, Misery Business was on Saints Row too. And then when I heard that, I looked at what album it was on, and then I listened to the rest of it, and I was like, this is a fucking banger. Oh yeah, and also Crush 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 was on that Dance Dance Revolution game for PlayStation 3. I used to play the shit out of that song. That was my favorite song to play on that game. And Riot. Dude, Riot is just fucking perfect, okay? Like, I can jam that album all fucking day, all my fucking life. I will never get tired of that album. I will never get tired of Paramore. That's the thing. It's just so good. That also is a monument. But it didn't really hit me at a crucial time like After Laughter did. But honestly, can you deny the perfection that is Riot? Because I sure as fuck can't. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I'm so glad I finally got to do it. And I really hope that I can hear some input from you guys about this list. And if I want to know what your favorite Paramore albums are ranked from your least to most favorite, if you even like them all. Which I do, but I mean, obviously I had to make this list to clarify that. Just for the sake of a video hobby. From least to most favorite, All We Know Is Falling, Brand New Eyes, self-titled, After Laughter, and of course, Riot. I really hope you enjoyed this because I've been kind of on a bit of a writer's block lately, but I do have a vlog that I'm kind of writing at the moment. If you guys would do me a favor, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you can to boost me a little bit, I would love that. And if you have any suggestions on what else I should do, please feel free to comment them. And I'll drop a link to some of my latest projects down below. That's all I can say for now. If you sat through this whole video, I'm fucking proud of you. But I'm also happy that someone else enjoys this other than me. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye.